You're listening to Riding Retro Radio. I'm BTL, and this is the Riding Retro Radio rundown for Friday, the 13th in November. Of course, it is. The rundown has been gone for a little bit, but we're giving it a go here again. Quick story, we were going to originally get it up and running again in March, around mid-March. That's sort of when the pandemic sort of spiraled and happened, essentially. So there's some articles that it was being filmed and recorded and everything, and it just didn't seem appropriate to proceed with it. So everything was sort of pushed under and put aside for a bit, but now we're giving it another go here. So today's stories are actually going to be from that first episode we were trying to do in March, just because I like these stories, and so we're just going to revisit them and maybe the first edition of the rundown redo. No, that is not going to be a thing. All right, so today's stories are again back from March, sort of before the pandemic happened, so they're sort of feel good stories, maybe a reminder of what used to be. That's nice. So got two articles here. One is going to be about a Florida boy. Of course, it's Florida, but honestly, when you say Florida anything, Florida boy, Florida man, Florida child, Florida gator, that sort of draws attention, doesn't it? You say, oh, Florida. What'd Florida do this time? So Florida boy gets stuck in an igloo cooler. And then we have another article about something called Tractor Day, which I just learned about back in March. And so haven't really revisited these articles since then. So this will be sort of a rediscovery for me and maybe for all of us here. So let's get right into it. By the way, we're trying something new this time around. You're going to be seeing my screen live. Well, not live, I guess, but you're going to be seeing it in action, like this unsolicited advertisement. That's not my article. And I'm also down here in the corner. That is delayed. Was not anticipating a delay with that, so that's going to be very interesting. It's supposed to be another just cut screen of me. So let's go ahead here, and the back button is not working on that article. That is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to cut this out later. Where's this article? There we go. Perfect. All right. So, Florida boy gets trapped in igloo cooler. Now, this wasn't, like what you might think it was. He was out playing around in the yard, unsupervised, and he ended up just sort of playing in the cooler. He decided he wanted to see if he would fit. Actually, it doesn't really go into detail here. I believe there used to be an article associated with this story, and that has since been just gone. But I do have the video here, so it's going to show you. So there he goes. He's going in the cooler, loving life, trying out a new tiny home situation, I guess, if that's right for him. And then he plays around with the lid a bit, as you'll see here. He's just going to jiggle the lid while he's in there, not realizing just that there's that lock there. And by the way, it's also playing on the radio, the rundown, so I'm trying to describe it too for people just listening. So of course, he plays with the lid, the lock jiggles down on the clasp, and he starts freaking out, as anyone would, being accidentally trapped in a cooler. So luckily the screams, the knocking, people from inside hear him and rush out. Now, this door, right? Let's go back. This door was closed, was it not? This door was closed. So he's out on, the porch. And so, yes, the lid was closed, but yeah, so the door is closed. the igloo cooler lid is closed and locked, and yet his screaming, they can still hear that. That is incredible. I wonder how many dogs woke up nearby as well, but that is incredible. Luckily, it seems like they heard it right away, and they all rushed out. And there's that moment that they have no idea where it's coming from until they realize, like, the dad there realizes, oh, that's the cooler. So they open it up. They're all sort of, shaken, but okay. I do remember when I first read this article that Igloo did issue a voluntary recall on some of their cooler models with a similar lock like this, in case you wanted to sort of switch that out, I guess, for a lock that you have to sort of be more like, yes, that is the lock, instead of just closing it and an automatic lock almost there. But everyone's okay. They're, of course, shaken up. No lawsuits or anything. That was, that's understandable what happened. So glad he's okay. But I just found that really interesting that he went in there and just trapped himself. So that's going to be a story for the books later on in his life. Anticlimactic ending there. I think I had a better one in March. Moving on, we have the second article here. Tractor Day offers a slow dose of the freedom every teenager longs for. The author of this article, I think, was alluding to finally driving a car, I think. But essentially in Illinois, South Central Illinois, I believe, is where this takes place. I think other places as well, but this article touches on students from South Central High School in Farina, Illinois. My parents are from small towns in Illinois as well, so there were small farm towns here. So I can sort of, maybe that's what drew me. It was like a genetic thing, like, oh, a small farm town article about Illinois. Let's dive in. But essentially, the town here has a little a tractor day annually where they have the 14, 15-year-olds drive to school themselves in their family tractor. It's something that they look forward to, and it's a big deal for them to just sort of show up to school in all their family's tractors and sort of show off that that's their tractor, and I drove it here all by myself to school. They even have tractor competitions where you can sort of show off, and here's a picture here. They have the tractors parked out at school, and they have competitions where they where is it? Yeah, prizes for best dressed tractor, and apparently they also have awards for the loudest tractor as well. It's really touching how it touches on a student who was waxing and just he waxed it and washed it twice in a row, about 3 hours a night for the 2 nights before the event. That's just how dedicated they are here to Tractor Day. But look, he is a strapping young man there, just getting ready to drive by himself to school in a tractor. My school parking lot was big, but I don't think it was big enough if every student had their own tractor. That's incredible. So on that day, I can't imagine that, people in that town are getting to work on time with tractor traffic on the interstate. But, you gotta plan ahead. I guess they wake up early because these tractors top out at, it was 20 miles an hour, and it takes about 20 minutes to drive into town with the tractor. So Tractor Day taking place next year, hopefully in a bit of a lighter tone. We'll have to see. A bit of a lighter world, if you will. All right, so that was pretty much the rundown for this Friday, the 13th. Sort of a rocky start there. I really should have read ahead on these articles. I thought that my memory would be a lot better. It was not. So, other than that, enjoy the rest of your Friday. We have the Cozy Corner podcast coming up at 7 p.m. tonight, as well as an encore presentation of the rundown happening at 11. For more information, you can always visit writingretroradio.com. For Writing Retro Radio, I'm BTL. Have a good night.